Investing is a very personal thing. I've over the years taken an approach toward investing that's pretty simple, and I learned from some of the masters out there. And I would hope that you would learn from these people as well. There's so much information from some of the great investors. Obviously, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is a phenomenal success. Let me tell you how successful Mr. Buffett has been. For those of you that are not aware, Buffett's company is called Berkshire Hathaway, and you can go to the website berkshirehathaway.com. Yes, Berkshire Hathaway is the clothing company that he bought many, many years ago, and that's how that name has stuck. Every year he writes a report to his shareholders, and it's like a letter from home. It's like a letter from your grandfather or something like that that's really full of great investment and money wisdom. It's really spectacular, and all of them are on the website. It is the most bland, boring website you'll ever see in your life. I don't think there's a single picture on the website anywhere, and it looks like somebody typed it out on an IBM Selectric. I mean, that's just what it is. But it's loaded with information. And let me just tell you how successful Mr. Buffett has been. I couldn't believe this when I saw this the other day, so I wanted to share it with you. And this comes from the 2010 letter to his shareholders. And it talked about the performance of his company. And he owns, Buffett is the largest shareholder in Coca-Cola, Wells Fargo, American Express. You go on down a number of other publicly traded companies. He owns a lot of companies, Geico Insurance. He owns that in total. He's big into insurance. He owns Dairy Queen. He owns See's Candy. He owns all these different kind of random businesses over the years. And so in this 2010 letter, he compared his performance of his stock portfolio with the S&P 500, and it goes back to quite a few years to when he started, when he started his company, 1965, and this is through the end of 2010. And the S&P 500 during that period of time, 65 to 2010, did very well. It was up 6,262% for that period of time. It's pretty darn good rate of return. Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio was up 490,409%. So when he talks about investing, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to pay attention, okay? The guy knows a thing or two about investing. And so his attitude is really very simple when it comes to investing. Put some effort into selecting where you're going to put your money, what kind of companies you want to own, and then stick with it. Unless something dramatic changes, stick with it. It's going to probably work out pretty well. He owns great American companies, and he holds on to those things. And as a matter of fact, Buffett will often say how much he really appreciates it when the stocks he owns go down. He likes that because it allows him to buy more of those stocks at a cheaper price. He does a comparison. He's done a comparison where he talks about a person going into a store like Nordstrom's, okay? And you go into the store and you're walking down the aisle and you see a suit on the rack and you go, wow, I would look so good in that suit. It's not even funny. And you go over and you pick up the sleeve and you see the suit is $2,500. And you go, well, I may look great in that suit, but there's no way I'm going to spend $2,500 on that. Go through the store a couple of weeks later, they're having their semi-annual sale. Suit's marked down to $1,500. You go, I got to own this thing now. Got to own it. You buy it, you get it tailored, you're walking down the street, your friends see you, and they say, boy, that's a really good-looking suit, and you brag about how you got it on sale. They bite their tongue and they say, they don't tell you that they actually bought that same suit too at the rack for $500, okay? So it's the same suit all three times, it's just who got the best deal. And so he's willing to stick it out and get the best deal possible. So, and he's a firm believer in time. Warren Buffett is 82 years old and he's a long-term investor. I like that attitude. I like that confidence in investing. 82 years old and he buys stocks for the long term. I do a lot of work with senior groups. I talk to a lot of senior groups about managing their money and stuff like that. And I'll get into my talk about long-term investing, and it doesn't take very long before somebody raises their hand and says, Hey, Chamberlin, I don't even buy green bananas, buddy. Don't talk to me about long-term investing. So, you know, but it's something you do. And one point I want to hammer home on this. Another one of my people that of all the people I've mentioned, this will be the one most of you have never heard of. Charles Ellis is a great investor who has written what I believe is the best book ever on personal finance and investing. And the book is called Winning the Loser's Game. It was first written in 1976. It's been updated many times. It's out in its 4th or 5th edition now. Charles Ellis, Winning the Loser's Game. And he talks about the mistake that people make as we get older. As we get older, we make investment decisions based upon our own perceived mortality. Okay? And he said, when you do that, obviously, what are you going to do? You're going to be very conservative, okay? Well, being very conservative right now doesn't pay very much, okay? As much as the credit union would like to really give you a much higher rate on CDs, they have to give you what they can give you. And that's going to be a rate that is obviously not going to really allow your money to grow that fast right now. That could change any time now. We could see rates starting to go back up. But what he suggests you do is make your investment decisions, at least with a portion of your money, based upon the life expectancy of the people that you would like to leave the money to.